So we have a new technical director today. So it may record or may not record. If it's recorded, thank you. If it didn't record, don't blame me. Blame a guy named Jeremy. Because he's sitting in Dan's seat.
You want me to double check?
It's recording.
No, it's recording. And Dan he's not watching the shear, he's watching the recording. I'm telling you, I'm better live than on that recording. Okay. So, mishmat, right? We need to have discipline. We need to be consistent in our gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That was the message we left with yesterday. Now he says something. It takes him a very long time to make a point that I think is fairly simple. And the point is like this, that when you are benefiting, well, human being, we're all pretty much the same. Qualitatively speaking, we're not that different from one another. So I may have these faults or those merits, and you have different faults, different merits. Yes, you have faults, my friend. Even though your mother never told you about this, you do have faults, Yuda. Sorry. But mutatis mutandis, right? If we sort of erase all the differences, we essentially, all human beings, are pretty much the same. And the differences between us are accidental. That is, the fact that a person becomes rich is not because essentially he is, rich by essence, but because being in the right place at the right time, or the wrong place at the right time, whatever it is, circumstances took place that he was able to succeed financially. So, same thing with somebody who became a slave, certain circumstances. There's nothing inherent in him that made him a slave. We don't believe that in this country. The Torah doesn't say that. Okay? Like people in India who think that just because people are born into a certain group, they are by definition lower than others. I know you're not from India, but still. I'm trying to make a point there. The poor guy his wife worked very hard to make brownies, trying to make ends meet, and here comes some guy and just grabs a brownie with the... So, we're all pretty much the same. And the differences are accidental. They're not essential differences. And since we're all pretty much the same, we still have to have gratitude towards one another. That is, somebody does something nice for you, somebody benefits you, you should have gratitude to that person. Period. Now, the gratitude should grow if the person that benefited you is better than you. Essentially better than you. That makes sense? Can I give an example? So, if you're weak and poor and mentally not all there, and somebody helps you, the fact that they are helping you, that should not reduce the level of gratitude because you're weaker and inferior, but rather should increase the level of gratitude that you have towards them. Right? Just the idea is when the two people who are equal, this one is helping that one. So the gratitude is, level 3, let's just say. Okay, but now if it's like this, and this person is helping, right? So your gratitude should be level 6. That's the idea. That's the idea. That's
the other way around.
it should be the other way around.
If someone who has less and is poor and mentally not there, and he's still choosing to help you, and he needs so much help, then your gratitude should be higher. If they have so much, they're so wealthy, the money is it's not as impressive.
That's not the case. You want to switch that case. But we're looking at, remember, the 5 different types of relationships. So if they're equal, there needs to be a level of gratitude. And if one is inferior, there's an idea to say that maybe because I'm inferior, that I don't need to have gratitude.
You like us to Hashem.
Okay? And the answer is no. Even though I might be inferior, I have less power, less ability, it doesn't decrease my responsibility to be grateful to you. Okay? Is that it? Make sense?
Rav, does this apply to like inanimate things?
Inanimate things.
Like say like my printer works really well. Just say thank you, printer.
Are you okay?
I just don't understand like how do you be grateful to someone you're paying? Like if you pay for a service, you have to be grateful to that
This was yesterday. You still didn't get over this, huh?
Nah. But it's like the same thing as like you playing a piano and me being grateful to the piano for working. Like it's
Well, I think that on some level, have you ever gotten into a car, right? And you are like, come on, just turn on. And you're like, and then vroom, and like, come on, just get me to the gas station. Just let's get to the gas station. And you get there and you say, oh, thanks. It's just a feeling of gratitude. Obviously, I'm not grateful for the cup itself because I don't animate objects. I don't attribute human qualities to inanimate objects. That's called insanity, my friend. So when your printer works, right, you should say, Hashem, thank you very much for this printer to work. Okay? That's how I would do it. Now, if I hire somebody, I hire a masseur, and he does the massage, I still should be grateful to him. Why not? Why not? You hire a cleaning lady. What do you do? Just throw the money at her and go, here you go. Really?
it's just not respectful. But I mean, I do a lot of mannerisms. But I mean, I wouldn't feel actually like
Why not?
because I've paid her to do it. Like it's, I don't know. Like, what are you like getting? What are you getting? Like, you paying for a service? Like I bought a printer, I expect it to work. I mean, like I bought like if I pay a cleaner to clean, like clean. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Like
Okay.
I'd be grateful to Hashem for giving me the opportunity to have a cleaner, but I don't know why would you be grateful to the cleaner?
Because the person is doing something for you. And it's not just a financial relationship. Imagine if that would be your attitude towards your wife. Look, I married you. So that's what I did. Get to work. There's bread, make a sandwich. That's not going to work. Right? You could see that, I mean, I can give you other cases. Scratch my back. I married you, so that's your job. Let's go. No, for sure not. Sure not. Nobody owes you anything. And even if you paid for somebody's services, you should still be grateful that the person did what you didn't want to do. The money is a separate issue. The money is a separate issue. It's always, when you order food and the guy brings you the food, you don't say thank you?
No, I do.
Why not? Why? Why do you say, what's the difference between that and a cleaning lady?
Because it's like respectful.
So, but that's the same thing. Hey, how are you? Where are you going? You sit where I could see you. So, Saxton, how'd you do today?
Yeah, it was good.
Didn't have a great game, sadly. But, you know, doing good.
Got nervous.
Yeah, a little bit. Cab was watching. Kind of stressed me out.
Now they're cheerleaders to this game.
I actually was cheering a lot, but my clothes were on.
I wouldn't trust that, Rabbi.
Oh my God. Did he thank you for coming and cheering?
He did, yeah.
What? See? So Yoda is the question.
Okay, so
Wait. I want to ask him a question, and then the floor will be yours now.
Okay, thank you.
I promise. The question is like this. Our South African friend over here, that Baruch Hashem, we have translators here to explain what he's saying. I told him earlier, why is your accent so thick compared to every other South African that we know? I don't know. I don't know what he said, but listen, he's saying something and you don't know what we're talking about. So you have a fresh perspective. And the question is like this. If you pay for a service, and we're not talking anything dirty, relax. Yeah, of course not. We're talking about the example that he gave is a cleaning lady. And if you pay her, there's no need to be grateful for the fact that she cleaned your home. Because you paid her. That's what he's arguing.
Grateful to her. Grateful to Hashem.
No, forget Hashem for a minute. We're talking about grateful to the person that did something for you. And you say, since I bought it, I paid for it.
I'm asking. I don't know if I believe this. I'm asking.
Do you agree with him?
I'm going to use another example. I don't agree with him. I think if you buy a lawyer and he gets you out of jail, you're going to be grateful to that lawyer. If you buy a cleaning lady and she manages to clean your dirty mess, you're going to be grateful to that.
But he's saying, I paid for it. So then I don't need to be grateful. I don't need any gratitude.
Disagree.
Okay. So he disagrees. So we're done. What can I say, you know? He does wrestling. He calls it jujitsu. I don't know. Yes, Noam, the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much.
And you should tell your mom to watch it so that she can hear you in the background.
Okay. No, absolutely. So, no, I want to say so.
Yes, it's a recording. You could, and if you want, you could always do one of those, video bomb. Yes, Noam, floor is all yours. Pardon the interruption.
No, it's okay. It's not to say, like, the cleaning lady, like, she has no responsibility to show up. Like, even if you pay her, like, it's hard to find a cleaning lady who will actually show up and will actually do the job correctly. So you should have gratitude. Absolutely. And then for the piano thing, like, you should show gratitude to Hashem for giving you the ability to play music.
Absolutely.
You know how to play piano.
Right.
Like, wow, I can play this melody perfectly. Like, you should absolutely have gratitude. So that's not.
No, but he's talking about, do I have to be grateful to the piano itself?
Piano
So
itself?
inanimate objects having relationships. I could just see him in his room. Oh, Ben, you worked. Thank you. Wow.
Rob, I don't think my question's understood. I'm not saying
sorry.
the context of how she performs her job. Perhaps that's a bad example. Let's say I'll pay for a service.
Like what?
And in an ideal world, she's going to do it regardlessly in the best manner possible. That's what I paid for. Should I
Okay.
be grateful for her to do it?
Yes.
I'm not saying that the fact she
Yes.
took time and did a good job.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ask you a question. Why don't you want to be grateful? Why is
So
it
I don't
difficult
want
for
to.
you
I'm just trying to figure it out. What are you being grateful for if you pay for something to happen? In
I
a
think
way
there's
that's
something.
supposed to happen?
It might be. I don't want to get into this. This could be politically very incorrect. But there might be some cultural differences between people in the first world and people who are in the third world. They have a different understanding of places of people in society. And that might be what's going on here. That's definitely not.
You grateful for your maid?
Very grateful to her.
So they
But you're paying her.
Yeah, but I'm not. She's not a robot. I'm not paying her. I'm not grateful because I pay her. I'm grateful because of our connection to her. And not
You have a
because he does
connection
for
to
me.
your maid.
They have like 11
I
babies.
just feel like you too.
To his maid? That's disgusting. That's like... You better go back to your kibbutz. I mean, that's a little too much. You know? All right, Dan, you ready? So we're going to continue now.
Yeah.
So, like this. He says rationally that our intellect requires us to have gratitude towards those who benefit us, period. And the gratitude is not something that is limited. How's your falafel?
Amazing, thank you.
I didn't have anything to do with it. I promise you.
Thank you for asking how my falafel is.
Yeah. Go ahead. What would you like to ask? And then Blake can have the floor.
What does it mean to be grateful? Like, is it different for everyone, or are we specifically saying one golden rule?
Okay, good question. Okay, I'll address it in a minute. Okay? Like,
What if it's somebody who maybe had positive intentions, but we feel like they wronged us? How do we be grateful for them?
wow, that's a great question. I know you want to speak, but yeah, so I should answer them first? Or you want to answer them?
I want to answer this.
So here's the rule. Usually,
Usually the rabbi.
yeah, usually, I think that's how it works here. I may be wrong. Maybe they want to hear from you. Do you want to hear Noam?
Sure, why not?
Yes.
I said,
So wait, which question are you answering? The first question or the second question?
one.
Second question, answer coming now.
I said, well, the thing, like, with people who wronged you, I feel like you should be grateful because usually with, like, experiences, even if it's negative, like, you grow from it. So you should show gratitude. Like, you can, like, let's say someone wronged you and it made you, like, work on your boundaries or something like that. Like, you should have gratitude towards that.
Okay. Good. Good. What? What?
What if they punch you in the face? What if they punch you in the face?
Then you learn how to take a punch.
Thanks, dude, for punching me in the face.
You learned how to take a punch.
Wait. Guys, let's not make fun of answers. It's not. We have to be respectful, and I think Noam does makes a good point. Okay. Now, do you want to hear what I think? Okay. So first, let's deal with the first question. What is gratitude? So gratitude is not only a feeling, it's an attitude, and also it is a moral characteristic. It is appreciation, valuing, recognizing when someone does something for me that I appreciate and I value what the person has done for me. I don't take it as a given. That's how I'm defining gratitude. Now, we can express gratitude differently. It might be that the way that I express gratitude is different than Avi, which is going to be different from Andrew or Nachshon. But we all are, it's stemming from the same place. There are social norms of how to express gratitude. Okay? And I think different societies have different ways to express that. And I think you have to be sort of aware if you are in a multicultural situation that there might be people who, the way that there are people when you give them a compliment, they shoot it down. Oh, no. You know, it's like, no, I'm giving you a compliment. Just, you should say thank you. But there are some cultures that's the way that they're showing gratitude, right? In different cultures, there are different ways of how to express this. So there's something to keep that in mind. Now, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Have you ever heard of that? There is this expression, I don't know the origin right offhand. There's this expression that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That you could have people with very good intentions, but they walk around harming and causing a lot of damage, emotional damage to people. Okay? That's a problem. They mean well, but they're just either boors or just, a 700-pound gorilla in a china shop. So, what do you do in that situation? It's a very tough question because there's some level of responsibility on the benefactor to have in mind what not only his own intentions are, but the consequences of his actions. So I think that there's a level of culpability or responsibility of the benefactor making sure that the way that he is benefiting actually benefits. For example, if somebody is allergic to peanuts, right? You don't bring him peanut bars with peanut sauce dipped in peanut butter. I mean, what are you trying to do? Well, I thought, but you knew I'm allergic to peanuts. I thought you were just kidding. What? I'm not kidding. So there is that responsibility. However, from my perspective, if the person is really, and I believe sincerely they have good, positive intent, but yet their actions are misguided, then I will have a level of gratitude, and I will try to explain to them in the most gentle way, depending what the relationship is, of how, although the intentions were well-intentioned, the actions and the consequences exactly were the opposite. And if it happens consistently by that person, then we have a bigger problem. But I think that what I want to emphasize here is that we are growing and changing our moral compass to include gratitude in a disciplined way to every situation that we can apply it. That's the idea. That we are working on being grateful and recognizing the little things. When somebody sees you in the morning and says, Blake, how are you? I mean, they can ignore you, right? When you come to Shir at 3 o'clock and the rabbi mentions your name and pays attention of how much orange there are in your glasses, you should be grateful for that. I could ignore you like I ignore Michael over here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jeremy, stay with me, my friend. Stay with me. Yes. What does this mean?
Means peace.
This does not mean peace. This is the sign of victory. This means victory. We're not in battle. So, I don't know where the Americans got this, that they do this, that people think it means peace. This means victory.
No one ever told me that before.
I know. Well, I figured he's not telling me too. I'm not the waiter around here. Okay. Shall we move forward? Saxton, you want to say anything? You want to add anything? Okay. You know what page we were on? You're not doing that today. Tomorrow, email session. Tov. So now imagine this idea to refer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and us. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu is much greater than any concept that we can either feel or think about. He is greater in quality that we cannot fathom. And therefore, He takes care of us on all stages of life and existence. He takes care of us in this world. He takes care of us in the next world. And the relationship, the power relationship between Hashem and us is not of equals by any means. And therefore, we should have greater level of gratitude to Hashem for everything that Hashem has done for us and is doing for us. And we can guarantee that He will continue to do for us. And therefore, the way that we show gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is by being disciplined in our service of Him. We need to be disciplined servants of Hashem. Which means what? That we daven every day, we daven shachris. Not shachris is, some days yes, some days I'll just put tefillin and mincha. No. But I'm tired. Good. Baruch Hashem. Hopefully you're tired because you were doing important things. Right? Getting to level 946 on Candy Crush is very important. Right? No? Whatever, Minecraft, what's, I don't know what you guys, I don't even know what that is. What?
What's the proper way to show gratitude to a Rabbi? Like, to you in particular? Or
Me?
Is every Rabbi different based on their personality, or does it just
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's that.
Like you're saying thank you after share enough gratitude.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Or even better, just tell the Rebbe what you got out of the shir. You know what I really liked in the shir was this. Not Rebbe. That joke was very funny. Nobody here is here for the jokes, except you maybe. But right, Chase. The whole point is getting something out of the shir.
Exactly.
Nobody here is for my good looks. What? Okay. Dan is waiting for me to ask him. Dan, how long do I have?
10 minutes.
No way. No way. You're trying to cut us short again. Yesterday, I had to cut it short because I had to catch a bus, which I didn't even know that I had to catch that bus at the time that I did. Which was Hashgacha Pratis. I get on the bus, okay? We drive. I was supposed to come to where I was going to give a talk. I was supposed to be there about an hour early, which is perfect. I have time, relaxed. I could go over the talk or what I wanted to say. There's this huge traffic jam. There is no way out. All the lanes are blocked. And 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, we're not moving. So I send a message to the people like, look, I'm not going to make it at 6:30 because we're stuck. She said, well, yeah, okay, just let us know where you are at 6:30. So then I said, Hashem, listen, I got to be on time. I can't. And somebody taught me a special zgula to say a certain formula that causes traffic to... I laughed too. I tried it. And I came on time. I had to wait for another bus and take another bus. And I got there. I was supposed to be there at 6:30. I got there at 6:22. I'm not teaching it. Because I'm not allowed to teach it. But it works. It's unbelievable.
Wait, that's not cool.
That's not cool?
You can't tell us
That's
about
not cool. What?
That's not cool, Rabbi.
What?
Why are you gatekeeping it, Kabbalah?
Gatekeeping it?
Yeah, you're gatekeeping
I want to make sure that I hear the T. Because that sounded a little... What, don't get mad at me.
You're still gatekeeping it. Rabbi, that's so not cool. What's the reason you didn't say what's the reason that Rabbi didn't say that prayer earlier? What's the reason you contacted them to let them know you might not make it?
Because I saw that Al Pi Teva, according to the natural laws of traffic, I asked the driver, how far are we from where I needed to get off? And he's like, oh, it's, but there's a accident and the road is like this. So I said, okay. And then when I said it, I didn't believe it was going to work. I said Hashem, and I said, I guess it doesn't really work. But then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. And I got off and got on the other bus, made it exactly with 8 minutes to spare. It's amazing. It was unbelievable. So that's why yesterday I ended early. But today, my friend, you're going all the way. Yes.
Why can't you tell us this?
That's a whole separate issue.
Kabbalah? He said word.
What?
Is it Kabbalah?
What? I don't know what you guys are saying to me.
Now you're guessing.
No, it's empty. I just wanted to check. I do have to make a bracha achrona on that because it was cold, so I drank enough. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam, borei nefashot rabot v'chodan kol ma shebarat ha'shachai. Baruch ha'olamim.
Amen. Beautiful bracha, Rabbi.
How was the the little brownie? Yeah? Half-eaten brownie? No, he ate the whole thing.
I said half.
It's not hefker. There was a sign over there. It's like 7 shekels a bite.
Check, by the way, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, he's, I'm telling you, man. All right, let's keep going, guys. So we need to have a greater respect and gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for everything that He's doing for us. All the blessings. All the blessings. And now He says, I'm going to explain to you in the different chapters now. We're going to leave the Hagdama, the introduction to chapter 1. And He's going to get into what do we actually need to do to show this gratitude? Specifics. So we're starting with chapter 1 of the third gate of Chovos Halevavos, for those of you who want to follow inside. He says, now since the service of Hashem is a duty. Why is it a duty? Because it's an expression of our gratitude to Hashem. Then it is both rationally a duty and also something that the Torah commands. Which means that even if the Torah didn't command us to have gratitude to Hashem and to thank Hashem, we would know that we need to do this simply by thinking about this. Just like up to now, he said we are grateful, we need to be grateful to anybody who benefits us. Okay? So therefore, and we all agree that that makes sense. And from that, we learn that we have to have gratitude to Hashem. Okay, now, when you pay attention, you will see necessarily that there are times that a person needs to be, literally the word means awakened, but here I'm going to translate that word as motivated. A person needs to be motivated to fulfill his duties to Hashem. We need to be motivated. We all know what we need to do. We all know. Everybody knows you need to have gratitude to Hashem and you need to follow the mitzvot and what the Torah teaches in order to show that gratitude. Yeah, I know it here. Well, how do you get it from knowing it to actually doing it? That's not so easy. Most of us know a lot of things that we should do and things that we shouldn't do, but yet our mind doesn't control what we do. Right, Nachshon? Right? Everybody knows you don't take brownies that belong to somebody without permission. You just don't. But yet again, maybe it's a cultural thing. Right? If you see a donkey left, you just grab it. You know? So, gives sense. You could take a donkey, kal vachomer, you could take a brownie. I left a donkey there. What? They're both brown? No, donkeys are not all brown. Some donkeys are brown. But not these. You ever seen videos of the city Baku? They're full of gray donkeys.
Really?
What?
Not only mules were.
Mules? No. Aren't they all gray?
I don't know.
I almost got him. Yeah, no. So, how do we get ourselves awakened, motivated to fulfill our duties to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? That's what we're going to spend time on. And he says like this. He says something very interesting. That فَلَا يَبْكِي بِلَدِينَ إِلَى أَنْ يُقْمُلْ عَقْلِهِ. He says a person should not remain or be without religion before his intellect is perfected. This is a very interesting idea, which means what? That if you do not have a commitment to religion, you're in a very precarious situation if your intellect has not reached its ultimate capacity. Okay? So that religion is necessary to provide boundaries for you so that you can develop your intellectual abilities. Otherwise, you'll become a servant to your body. Essentially, you will be a slave to your desires. Yes, sir.
I think both ways it's bad. Even if your intellect has reached its capacity, then you're also in a really bad situation if you don't have God. Because then you believe everything's bad.
Oh, wait. You're making an assumption that if your intellect is perfected, you won't have God. So he holds that if you perfected your intellect, for sure you're going to believe in God. Because you're going to recognize Him. Because that was Shara B'china. That was a whole 3 weeks of what we learned of how to use our intellect to learn about God from the world. So we already know that piece. So he's saying, no, until you get to that level, you need religion. You need the Torah. And moreover, the motivation to serve Hashem consistently with discipline can come from two sources. One, the intellect, and the other one is through the Torah. That the Torah is going to provide us the motivation to want to serve Hashem. Okay? So we will continue. It's so when you read the Arabic and you think of the associations of the terms, I don't know what somebody who is a Muslim will hear this and they will agree with every word, but it's Judaism. It uses terms that are sort of under the monopoly of Islam. But this is saying, no, they're not. Those are terms that are for all religions, like Sharia and Rasul, which is a messenger. He's using them when he's talking about the Torah. He's not talking about the Quran. It's very, very interesting to see. Okay. Now, the motivation, how do we get motivated? So first you have to understand that the human being is made up of different entities. I don't know if we would even say contradictory entities, but different. And natures that overtake other natures. He's going to explain to that in a detail. And he says, the Kadosh Baruch Hu planted in us midot, kochot, we've got moral characteristics, we've got faculties that we use them in order to grow our body, build ourselves, strengthen ourselves, and to make sure that the human race will continue. That's an interest to Hashem. Hashem wants human beings to live in this world. Rabbi Yehuda, you're following? He wants the human race to continue in this world, which means that human beings should, in their nature, reach a level of maturity, talking about sexual maturity, reproduce, have children, take care of those children, raise them, and have continue generations and generations of human beings. That's part of what our body does. Correct? Part of your mind works to make sure that you get your food that you need, the sleep, shelter, clothes, whatever else you need. The emotional support that you're getting from your good roommate and friend. I'm not pointing to you.
Pointing to me?
No.
Pointing to me?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Don't worry. Nope. Nobody is dependent on you. You're on your own. Now, he says like this. Part of the survival of the human species is we need to have desires. Without desires, if we did not have desires, just imagine, if you did not have the Yetzer Hara, you would not have a desire, then you sit and learn Torah the entire day and not do anything. You would learn, fall asleep, wake up, continue, learn. They bring you food, they don't bring you food. You wouldn't run around with, 8 other guys after one ball. It's a big deal. Just get another ball. Here, you want a ball? Here you go. It's only when you have taiva that you start wrestling with people. Those of you who work out, I know you can convince me that, I'm only doing this to stay healthy. But part of it is also you want to look good for the opposite gender. Right? Otherwise, who cares what we look like, right? But we do care about what the other gender says. We want to look attractive. Now, that's part of our nature. It's part of our nature. We all want to be winners. Is there anybody here doesn't want to be a winner? Anybody here want to be a loser? No? You don't want to be a loser? No. What? You want to be a loser?
I think there's somebody else.
Somebody else would like to be a loser.
Possibly.
Yeah, who? You can't put it on somebody else.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Underdog always ends up winning at some point.
Underdog doesn't mean loser.
Well, he's lost at some point.
All winners lose at some point.
Underdog is someone who's doubted. Who's being doubted.
Doubted because of what? Because they've lost.
No, not necessarily.
They could just suck.
There is something in our human nature that is required for the survival of the human race. If the Kadosh Baruch Hu did not create us wanting the opposite gender, the world would look very, very different. Very different. And so he says that the Kadosh Baruch Hu placed on top of that something that's called a nefesh. There's a nefesh, there's a soul. And the soul, what it does, it seeks to connect to things that are much more elevated than the physical world. It draws you upwards. That you feel is just getting food and bathroom and bed and shower and is simply not enough. There's something much more important than that. It's not all about herring. It's not. There's more to it. That's the neshama. Which means that you have a part of you that wants to stay, for the lack of a better term, animal. And there's a part of you that wants to be spiritual. And those two are in a tug of war. There are times that the spiritual controls you. There are times that you feel the struggle. And there are times that you feel the body wins. And then you're sleeping on the floor and you don't understand why. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow.